The odds of stimulus check number 4 just increased dramatically. The catalyst behind it in this video, so let's get into all the details. Welcome everyone, thanks again for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video as it is totally free to do so, and so I can continue to keep you updated each and every day with all of this information that is changing very rapidly, literally on a daily basis. Thank you, and make sure you're subscribed so we can make sure we can reach 1 million subscribers right here on the channel by the end of the year. Thank you, I truly appreciate you, and let's talk through all these details. So if you've been watching my videos for any length of time now, we've been talking a lot about stimulus check number 4 and the actual probability of it happening within the next stimulus package. As of right now, we're like detectives, right? We're pouring through all of the evidence that we have on the table and putting together the highest probability of stimulus check number 4 actually being added into the American Families Plan, one of the 2 stimulus packages that is currently on the table right now. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about a couple different topics. However, stick with me because all of this is going to revolve around stimulus check number 4, and all of this is going to come full circle and make sense here in a matter of just a couple minutes. So with that being said, stick with me on this, and I think this is going to make sense here in a matter of just a couple minutes throughout this video. All right, so as I said at the beginning of the video, the odds of stimulus check number 4 have increased dramatically over the last about week to a week and a half. Let me explain what's going on. But in order to better understand this, let's rewind to early 2020 just to better understand the situation that was going on during that time that prompted Congress to issue a $1,200 stimulus check, the first of 3 stimulus checks so far. Remember that one? All right, let's talk about this really briefly, and then we'll fast forward to where we currently stand and why all of this is pointing toward stimulus check number 4. All right, let's talk through this. So remember back to about March time of 2020. What was happening during that time? Well, maybe most of you on the channel here probably don't watch the financial markets all that closely. However, it is something we need to take into consideration. So stick with me on this because it's going to make sense here in just a minute. The financial markets, when I'm referring to that, I'm talking about the stock market. Now, here's the thing. I realize, what does the stock market have to do with a 4th stimulus check? Trust me, it has a lot to do with it. Let's talk through this a little bit further. So if you don't watch the financial markets, let me tell you what was going on. In March of 2020, the financial markets were absolutely collapsing, like straight down every single day. It was a bad situation for the financial markets. Well, if you were invested anyway. If you were a short seller, you were making money hand over fist. It was pretty cool back then. But here's the thing. There's a ton of opportunity in everything. We can talk about that further in a different situation or in a different video. But here's my point. In March of last year, the markets were getting absolutely slammed. Now, here's the thing. At that time, the virus was not really doing a whole lot. It was still very new to us right here in this country. In March of last year, there wasn't a whole lot as far as like lockdowns and things like that. We were not in that situation yet. A lot of things were being canceled when it comes to like sporting events, different gatherings, different seminars, concerts, things like that. That was like on the leading end of when things were still being canceled. It was still very new to us at that time. There was not lockdowns for the most part. It was not happening quite yet. However, the financial markets were melting down in March of last year. However, on March 27th of last year, Congress passed the biggest stimulus package in history in the United States, the CARES Act, which was $2.2 trillion, which also encompassed the $1,200 stimulus check, right? So it's all starting to make sense now, right? So at that time, prior to anything really going on with the virus, other than just things being canceled, they were already passing the biggest stimulus package in the history of this country there late in March. Well, shortly thereafter, late March and early and into April, that's when we started seeing all of these different lockdowns going across the country, right? States, things were starting to lock down at different localities, and just straight up across the country, things were going into lockdown. Businesses were closed. For the most part, we were told, stay at home, don't come out, stay there, don't talk to anybody, right? For the most part, that's about what it was like in early 2020, late March and into April. Well, at that time, that's when they had this next stimulus package passed. Now, here's the thing. Did they pass the stimulus package because of the virus? Well, at the time, this was still early on in the whole stage of the virus, right? This was before the lockdowns were even put in place. They passed the stimulus package in conjunction with a stock market that was melting down at that time. Now, here's the thing. What is the whole objective behind the stock market? They want to prop up the bubble, right? They want to continue to inflate the bubble just like a balloon. Pump more hot air into the thing, and how can you do it? You print up trillions of dollars of money, and you pump it into the market. That's exactly what happened. The market pegged the bottom and went like a rocket ship straight up, and it's been going up basically ever since, up until about a couple days ago. Now let's talk about where we currently stand. Now let's fast forward up to present time right now. Let's compare notes. As of about a week and a half ago, the financial markets have been going basically straight up ever since the bottom that was pegged early last year in about April, late March, about early April time of last year. The markets have been going basically straight up ever since with all of this money that's being pumped into the market. Now here's the thing. About a week and a half ago, the markets kind of started teetering a little bit. You know what? Now here's the thing. Most people watch the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq. However, one of the indices that many people don't even watch has actually been going down quite a bit, and as of right now, it's down about 10% from the highs from about, a week and a half ago. What is it? The Russell 2000. Most people don't even watch it. However, this indice is one of them that is a leading indicator as to where the market is likely going. Now here's the thing. It's down almost 10% as of right now. From the highs that were just marked, a week and a half ago? Not that long ago. It's been going down a lot lately, kind of under the radar. Not too many people have been seeing this thing. However, it's only down 10%. As of the market from the high to the low last year, it was down anywhere between 40 and 50% across the indices. That's a huge move down. Now here's the thing. Everything needs to start somewhat small. Doesn't matter what you're talking about, whether it's a market collapse or building of a house, it literally does not matter what it is. Everything starts small and then it gets much, much bigger from there, right? Well, here's the thing. As of right now, the market is starting to waver a little bit, and this one indice, the Russell 2000, just so happens to be going down pretty substantially going forward. And here's the thing. Like I said, this is one of the leading indicators of what happens to the market. Watch the Russell, and you can probably easily predict what's going to happen to the rest of the market. I've been watching the market for almost 13 years now, and I've seen this play out so many different times. So anyway, just a quick little pro tip right there. So anyway, now let's look at where we stand with all of these stimulus packages and everything else going on, as well as what else is going on with this virus right now. Well, as of about, 2 weeks ago or so, we've been hearing about this Delta variant, right? Now, here's the thing. I know there's different varying opinions on this virus thing. I'm not taking sides on it. I'm not saying whether it's real or it's imagined or whatever. Let's just talk about what's actually in the media right now, because that's all that really matters, right? Because that's where people are getting information, right? And that's where the beliefs come in, and that's where all this other stuff comes in. So it doesn't really matter. I'm not saying anything in particular about the virus one way or the other. I'm just saying let's just take it at face value. Here's the thing. There's this Delta variant that everybody's talking about, and it is apparently spreading like wildfire out there right now across this country. In fact, Janet Yellen, who just so happens to be the Treasury Secretary, was out just a few days ago and said we may just see isolated lockdowns across this country in some areas. Okay, are we seeing a little bit of a repeat of 2020 so far? It would seem that way, right? The market's already getting slapped around a little bit, of course. You never know what's going to come, but yeah, we'll have to watch that one a little bit closer. But I would have to say, look out below is just my opinion. But anyway, who cares what I think on the market? But I would not be surprised one bit to see a retest of the lows that were marked back in early 2020. But again, I'm just a guy on YouTube. What do I know? I've only been watching the markets for about 13 years on a daily basis. Apparently, I don't know anything, but I guess we'll see who's right on that one. Anyway, let's talk about this a little bit further. So when it comes to the virus and the market and all these things like this, what is the duty of Congress when the market starts getting slapped down? Well, most people would say, well, Congress shouldn't have anything to do with the market. Yeah, right. No, they pass all of these stimulus packages to pump up the bubble. That is the whole point. Everybody is heavily invested in the market. When the market goes down, people lose confidence in the economy in the United States. They want confidence across the economy. They want confidence across the people in the United States. So how can they do it? Pump the market up, right? Pump a bunch of money into the market and balloon the bubble once again. So if this market continues to go down and continues to collapse even further, and all these ideas of this Delta variant continuing to spread, and the idea of potentially businesses closing down once again, and this whole idea of potential lockdowns once again, this whole thing, this whole fear, this whole scare out there going on right now. What is Congress likely going to do? They're probably going to pass another massive stimulus package because they know a lot of that money makes its way into the market. How can they do that? By issuing more stimulus checks, because they know a lot of people who don't need the stimulus checks, the higher income people that we've been talking about for so long now, take that money and they pump it into the market. Right? So does all this kind of make sense? Once again, we're coming full circle just like we did in early 2020. The market goes down, they pump it up with a big stimulus package, send out money to the people, give people easy money, they pump it into the stock market, and they balloon it once again. Make sense? We're basically seeing the exact same situation from 2020 playing out once again right here, right now in mid-2021. It's a very similar situation. What's actually really interesting about this, I've actually been talking about this for a couple months now, where I'm saying this is so weird. 2021 is looking weirdly similar to 2020, right? So many different things that are going on this year within Congress and these stimulus packages, stimulus checks, the virus, the market, all of these different things that I've been talking about. It is like a replica of 2020. I would not be shocked one bit to see them pass another massive stimulus package with another stimulus check added in there. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see what happens, but I'm just saying, you got to look at all the evidence. History continues to repeat itself over and over and over again. You can see it. You can look back in history on basically everything. It continues to repeat itself. So if you know that history repeats itself, you can just look back on history and see, hey, what happened over the previous times? And then we can say, look at that. We can predict what's going to happen into the future with a high degree of accuracy, right? Anyway, just some different evidence that I've been putting together over the last few days and weeks here. Again, with so many other things, with all the evidence that I'm looking at. Like I said earlier, we are like detectives at this time, pouring through all of the evidence to figure out what is the probability of stimulus check number 4 and everything else going on going forward. And in my honest opinion, I just feel like with everything going on right now, the odds of a 4th stimulus check have just increased dramatically with all of this information, right? So, only time will tell. That is the only thing that will tell us, though, what's going to happen in the future. Only time will tell, and we'll just have to see what happens. But either way, I will continue to keep you updated. Make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video. We're in a very, very interesting time right now with everything going on. Either way, stay safe out there, everybody. I'm here to keep you updated and to help you out in any way that I can. Make sure to go back and check out any of my nearly 1,400 videos right here on the channel. And of course, feel free to share them with your friends, family, and social media. Thanks again. I truly appreciate you, and I'll see you again in the next video. I'll catch you later.